beautiful, make it beautiful. Age of new beginnings, make it beautiful.
Come on. That's what we do here.
Make it beautiful, make it beautiful.
Come on.
That's right. So we have like this innate need for balance, and we have this energy of all of us, all women have this energy and desire to create. So whether we're creating life in the form of babies and children and families, or a beautiful home, or a business, or our art, or our movies, or our shows, or our programs, we're constantly creating. So one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of women get shut down, and their creativity gets shut down because the weight of the world is literally on us. We're caretakers on top of that, and we're householders on top of that in most cases. And we typically put everyone else's needs ahead of our own. And it's kind of like we do it because we know that we're capable. We know that we can, we know that we're capable of doing all the things. So we do. But unfortunately, it doesn't leave a lot of room for our own what's the word?
I think that we go through a time where we give so much of ourselves that we can either feel drained, or when we're not in our highest vibration, that we can feel taken advantage of, or subjected to somebody else's energy. So when you're in a place of owning your vibration and being in a really strong energy, you're able to, there's nothing you can't do. You can manifest, you can enjoy life, you can create, you can be happy. But when you push yourself to a point where you become at a lower ebb, that you're not on point anymore, that you can feel blocked, you can feel manipulated, you can feel all these things, that you forget that you have the power to shift. By shifting yourself, you can shift the outcome of everything that happens in your life. And that's becoming into your diva, into your goddess, into owning your power, which I love that Jess has, I do, but Jess as well has a phenomenal way of step-by-step helping women take their power back, feel empowered, know their truth, and realize we're not a victim to anybody in any way. And Jess, I would love for you to go in a little more detail about some of the programs that you have had in the past and how long you've been doing what you're doing. And then we can go into it afterwards and where we're going to bring it right here on Long Island. But besides on Long Island, it's via web. So we're everywhere and anywhere.
That's right.
Connect to love, inner self-love.
That's right. You hit on a real important point, and of especially women who are in the spiritual communities and who are very gifted, spiritual women, especially empathic women, if you've ever heard the term, women who are just feeling so much and are so in tune with the energies around them, are often overwhelmed, right? And the overwhelm shows up like where our boundaries aren't honored. And that shows up in lots of different ways too. That can show up in your own family, in your own home, like where you're not feeling respected there, or it could show up at work, like with
business
relationships. It shows up in your relationships, definitely. It shows up in the projects and the creative projects that you're working on and what you're trying to accomplish. And it shows up in the bedroom, like you said, in relationships. It definitely shows up there, like how we hold our boundaries is paramount in a lot of different ways. And for spiritual women especially, who are working consciously to be open, very often aren't grounded enough in their own self-worth or in their own self-knowing to have the boundaries that need to be in place so that they can be as powerful as they know that they can be. That the boundaries can serve us in many different ways. And boundaries doesn't mean like I'm shutting you out. Boundaries doesn't mean like I have barbed wire all around me and you're not getting past, and I'm very rigid about how I have to do things. It's not like that. It's kind of like you're a VIP at a club, right? If you can remember the days where we were all, you know, going out and having fun.
Yes.
And they have those ropes, you know, where they keep things separate, and they'll let you, and you can let people in. You can say, yes, I like what you're saying. I like where you're going. You click open the thing and you let them in. You say, come on in, let's do this thing. And then the other people who aren't vibing with what you're saying or what you're doing or how you're doing it, you click the thing shut. Sorry. Like,
I
you know,
adore how you put this, and what's really beautiful is when you're
so
an
we do it to
empath.
protect ourselves. It's
Yes.
not really about, it's not about shutting people out or being inclusive.
No,
It's not about that.
selective
Yeah.
on honoring yourself, on what's acceptable, on how you're being treated, how
And we can't really
how
be
we
in
even
touch.
treat ourselves.
Right.
Because as an empath, even myself, I mean, I have always projected the priestess aspect, which I felt that I've normally always owned my power. But I am human, and I am an empath, and I am an intuitive, so I feel energy. And when I get overtired, and there's so much going on, that I got to a point where I was overtired, and I let my vibe low, and I got into a place that it's like, I can't believe I'm here, you know. But the essence is to not allow yourself to stay there. You know,
Right.
it's okay to have that roller coaster of life, happy, sad, because to think that you're always going to be perfect is not reality. That's make believe, you know. But to realize that we can reel ourselves back, we can connect to people that are of the same vibration, such as Jess. It was funny. Jess had something on Facebook, and I guess I reached out to her, and she came back with such beautiful, infinite love. And I was at a low ebb for like a day and a half, and then bang, hey, I'm back. I'm back to play. I'm back to be happy. I actually was so at such a low ebb where I couldn't lift my head off the pillow, and my body had such a weight on it where I felt like I couldn't function because I took on stuff that really wasn't for my highest and best. And when you're able to connect at a beautiful high vibration and know your truth and hear truth, you're able to remember. It's kind of like when you work out, you have that muscle memory. It's like, oh, I'm back, you know? And so what we're going to be doing is creating retreats, programs, and a series of shows that are going to help you reconnect and honor yourself and appreciate the magnificence of what you're capable of manifesting what your heart desires, that life is, there are no limits, how to claim whatever it is that rocks your world. And now Jess does it. She has with astrology and elements, right? You have relationship courses. You have a beautiful sanctuary of goddesses.
Yeah, I have a lot of different modalities. As I find that for me, astrology is it's a doorway in. I like to look at it as astrology psychology. So once I know a little bit, which is like just a birthday, I can actually go in a little bit deeper, faster, to help start making progress right away. So it's not like when I begin working with someone, it's not like we need to delve so deeply into the past that we're dredging up old, trauma, and we go there. But it's not like talk therapy that takes weeks and weeks and weeks to get somewhere. I know that by the time a sister's ready to reach out and talk, she's had it. You're at the end of what's tolerable. So it's important to get results fast. It's important to find out where you're at and get results fast. So I kind of just take the back door with astrology. And I also have a course to teach you how to do that if you're interested in learning more about that. But my main goal is like this is uncovering your inner goddess and your inner power, and then helping you to create ways to get that into your daily life right away, so that you can create, so that you can be, that you can do all the things that are really important to you. Reconnecting with you, Al, was really fun. But I was, you were in a weird space like just a few days ago, and we talked over a period of a couple of days in a row. And she said to me, I'm trying to remember your exact quote now because I wrote it down, but she said to me, on the third day we were talking, she said, miracles are easy to show. What did she say exactly? She said,
about manifesting miracles?
Yeah, she says it's easy to demonstrate miracles or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's what I wanted to hear. Like, that was just such like a complete 180 from a couple of days prior. And we all have days like that. We all have bad days. We all have low times. We've all been through stuff that has shown us, that, or shown us that or made us believe that we can't trust ourselves, or that we can't trust others, or made us feel like we just don't know what we want. Ask a woman what she wants. That's an interesting conversation.
Because we change our moment from one moment to the next.
We do. We change our minds a lot, and very often we don't consider what our real desires are and what it is that really does light us up, because it doesn't seem like a priority. And that's not okay. And then we end up doing what we talked about before, focusing on what we don't want. And that creates stuck patterns. That creates patterns. And patterns that don't feel good are not worth repeating, so they need to be discovered. And then underneath that is a belief, and the beliefs, and here's where your sisters come and help. This is where we are grateful to have support, is when we know that we are stuck because we're not seeing something. Like, we're not seeing something. We know something is not working, but we don't know exactly why, and we don't know exactly what we need to do. And then you get a fresh perspective. And that's my jam. I love getting the fresh perspective and going real deep, real fast, so that you can start living the life the way you want it, the way you want it, to have the things in it that make you happy, that please you, that are pleasure, that are like, if you're not doing what you want, you're wasting your time.
Life is short, and I think that you went through your own challenges to bring you where you are. And, I have been doing programs and classes for 3 decades, and to be human is to be real, and the vibration right now is so high that whatever you feel, it feels intensified. So it's very important to be in alignment with what you want to co-create. Do I want to co-create life being amazing and fabulous, or do I want to co-create life isn't working and what this person did to me? And to understand, nobody can do anything to you unless you allow it, and to get in that alignment. So when I was creating or mentioning manifesting miracles, it's like I envisioned in 3 weeks we were going to be doing a program. Bam, you called me up on October 17th. That Saturday, we're going to be doing a half-day retreat over at the beach club. So we have a limited amount of women that are going to be able to connect with us. And then we're going to be doing via Zoom. And then after that program, we're going to be doing the God Essence Within You. That'll be for women and men. It could be for couples. It could be for individuals. That it's not, quote, quote, just for the goddess. It's for the God Essence as well. So we are all going through an incredible time of, this is 2020, seeing clearly what it is that's important to us. And I think what's important to us is being honored for who we are, and to get out of what's not working, and to move towards infinite realities.
Infinite realities. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, and it's about that. And you mentioned the men too, and I believe that it's completely possible to have phenomenal relationships that really light you up and that juice you up, and partnerships can be one of the best things that we do. You know, we talked about this being sisters, helping each other out when we need to get helped out, you know, but also in our romantic relationships as well. And these past few months have been really challenging for a whole lot of people. And their relationships, it's more togetherness than they're used to, it's more stress than they're used to, possible health condition stuff happening, or with extended family or people you love, work being affected. There's so many different additional stressors that people aren't used to dealing with, and that affects our relationships at home too. And to have a really strong front at home is going to help us be more effective, because honestly, magical women like us, we got magical shit to do, you know. So
yes, we do.
We can't have relationship drama that keeps us from doing those things, because relationship drama will keep you from doing those things. It takes up way too much headspace, way too much. If you've ever been like brokenhearted, disappointed, betrayed, or disappointed with your lover or somebody who you really care about, like in your family, you know that it takes up so much of your headspace. And honestly, it's not a productive place to be in. And there's better ways of being in relationship. And those are some of the things I love to share, because I really believe in powerful partnerships and phenomenal relationships and having a fun, happy, hot time. So we'll be sharing a little bit more about that.
I love
coming up
when
too.
you speak about the turn on, you know, when you shift the energy and you turn on you turn on your light, you turn on your passion, you turn on what it is that makes you feel alive. And that's what now is about. And it's like, now understanding Jess, she's incredible. She does beautiful movement programs, as well as things having to do, you know, with how we view life and how we view or take control of life, you know. So whether it's relationships, whether it's stress, whether it's movement, there are so many different layers of us that need to be honored, need to be, if something doesn't feel good, okay, why doesn't it feel good? You need to honor that, love that, nurture that, and say, okay, I hear you, and now I am going to love me enough, or love that little girl enough, or love that little boy enough to not let those lower vibrational, those old ways of thinking, the things that sabotage us, or the things that prevent us from having everything we desire, you know, those old patterns, to move past that into the reality of now. And now, I mean, I've been doing this for infinite amount of years. I don't even want to say how many. And Jess is no newbie by any means. She's phenomenal and very knowledgeable in what she does, and does it from a beautiful, grounded perspective in steps, you know, of, you know, whether it's the elements, whether the timing of where you are and the timing to where you want to be. So if you go to a therapist, it's over and over reiterating things that aren't working. In this goddess aspect, we honor, take a moment, not consume us, not reiterate. Acknowledge what wasn't working, and saying, okay, quickly moving into the vibrational energy of, oh, that does not feel good. So that's where we don't want to be. What is it going to take for us to feel good? Well, all right. Well, we're not going to let people disrespect us. We're not going to let people walk all over us. And we are going to take our power back. Now, like right now, I was talking to Jess, and I'm like, oh, should I wear what I'm wearing? And to know me, I'm always been a little flamboyant and playful. Playful is more my thing. And the essence of loving who you are, you know, not limiting yourself because you fit in somebody else's mold. That if you want to feel sexual or sexy, you know, as long as you're not distasteful, and I like to think I'm not. From my own perspective, it feels good.
Elle, you're a lot of fun. You're a lot of fun. She was so cute. She's like, could you just like check out what I'm wearing? I'm like, no, you wear what you're wearing, whatever that is. Like, that's how you're showing up today. That's how you're showing up today, you know? And every day is different. And that's something that I like to just talk about too, is that every single day is different. So I do a series of some fitness classes and like functional fitness stuff and sacred dance and that kind of stuff. And one of the things I always say is every day is different with our strength and our vitality and our flexibility. And I remind everyone that because my regulars, sometimes they'll hold themselves to a certain standard, you know, like that they need to look a certain way or they need to show up a certain way, or even when they're doing a movement, they don't feel the vitality that they're used to having. So they're kind of like half-assing something, or they don't feel that they're as flexible as they normally are. Maybe they're under the weather and they just don't have the energy to really put any power into anything. And that's fine. We can show up the way we are, like show up like as you are. And that's really important to just honor where you're at today, because that's part of self-love. That's part of how we honor ourselves. And one of the way, and how we show up, you know, that's what we were talking about before, like how we're showing up. So
Yeah.
just honoring where you're at in the moment. And if it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel good and you're taking some steps to mitigate that, you know, you can do that. You can do that, and you can do it fast. It doesn't have to be a whole
I think the point is
complicated process.
is showing up. You know, it's like I wasn't feeling 100% me, and you said I'm doing a yoga thing, and it's very low impact. I don't care if you lay there, just be there.
Right.
And I was, and because I was there, I got into the movements a little bit more than I thought I could, and I opened up a little bit more than I thought I could. And by the time I was done, I felt I'm good again. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's many different
and the particular
energetic
class that
bodies.
she's talking about is a super gentle. It's like the most gentle thing that I do. So that was like in the space that Elle was at, that was perfect for her. Like it was like super, super gentle, super, super relaxing, but it's functional, helping. It's Yoga for Back Health is a free class that I do weekly. And it's like, it's supporting the spine, right? And I feel like the spine houses the nervous system.
It does.
Right? So if whatever we can do for the spine, we do also for the nervous system. And taking care of our nervous system and getting our stress down is one of the most important things that we can do at all, because when we're stressed, it affects how we show up. It affects how we look. It affects how we communicate. It affects our work. It affects our creativity. It affects our relationships, all that stuff.
It affects how you feel. So if I am
Yeah.
stressed out because I'm super sensitive, it might blow out my neck. It might blow out my back.
Right, you're holding tension in your body. Right,
So
right. Or
it's
you
not
snap
like
at
I
somebody that you
intentionally
love. Yeah.
want my back to go out or my neck to go out, but my body says tilt. So it's realizing that something is not done to you. It's your body looking to protect itself, and how there's a comfortable, safe way to bring yourself back.
And that's why I feel like functional movement is so important. So one of the things that I do incorporate into just about every single program that I have, almost every program that I have, is some kind of movement, sacred movement. And whether that's yoga or it's sacred dance for women, whether it's like a Tai Chi or it's a cardio yoga is the next thing that I'm working on, which is really cool. But they're all functional fitness. And because I feel like we need to move our bodies. We sit a lot. We've been sitting more now than we have in the previous 6 months. Or, many people aren't getting up and going to do the things they normally do, go the places they normally go, even commuting to work or going to work, all that stuff. So much has changed. We have to keep moving. So that's one of the things that I pretty much always incorporate into my programs is some kind of movement, whether it's gentle or it's rigorous or it's sexy or it's sensual. we need it. We need movement, and we need it more frequently than we think to help shift the energy. You know, we like to believe that we're spiritual beings having this experience, but the truth is we're in a physical body, and we have a real responsibility to do right by it. That's part of who we are. You know, we're going to do right by our body, treat it kindly, you know, be loving. And that includes movement. That includes moving our bodies. And very often we need to move our bodies in new ways, especially when we're dealing with patterns, whether they're psychological, emotional, or even relationship patterns, or, you know, creative ruts that we get into. Sometimes what we need is to just move in a different way. And our bodies moving in a different way shifts our perspective too. So there's lots of different ways to shift perspective, but that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
I would love for them to be able to know how to find you and where you are. What are some of the magical ways where they can tap into connecting to what you have going on, whether it's a class, a program, a one-on-one?
Sure. So on LongIslandGoddess.com is one way. And I have on there a report that you might like. It's 7 sacred ways to relieve stress right away. And that'll help you get grounded in your day. It'll help you be more effective at the things that are important to you, have you having less stress, because we know that that's really important, and actually less effort in life. You know, when we're feeling less stress, things start to flow. Things start to move in a way that it's, I was telling Ellen before that I have a little sticky note that says, how easy can you stand it? How easy can you stand it? Are you attached to things being hard? Like, these are just things to look at, you know what I mean? That how easy can you really stand it? And it tends to, when you relieve the stress and lower the stress, things just start to flow. Things just start to go. You can feel good in your skin. You can really love yourself. And that's part of the work that I do one-on-one. I do also VIP days, virtual or in person. Elle and I are putting together something really cool for you coming up in just a few weeks. I have self-guided programs too. And like, you can find out more on LongIslandGoddess.com or jessamina.com. They both go to the same place, JESSAMINA.com. I got free goodies like all over if you poke around, to help you be more effective and to help you have a better life. It doesn't have to take long. It doesn't have to require a tremendous amount of effort. It can be easy. It can feel really good. You can have a jump in your evolutionary journey, in your creational journey, and whatever it is that you're looking to create, through pleasure, through having fun and enjoying yourself. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard.
I'm so excited that we reconnected. I'm so excited for the shows that we're going to be doing together. I am thrilled to do this beautiful retreat that is up and coming, and it's really just about, like, at the age of new beginnings. Today is a new day. It's a new beginning. Whatever it was before, it brought you where you are now, and everything is a gift. Even if it's not pleasant, it's still something where you're meant to grow and evolve from, to be the best you ever. And this is a very powerful vibrational time, that things that may have taken so much longer, instantly that energetic connection happens, that understanding, that aha moment that helps you discover and remember how exquisite the divine essence of light, the God essence of light that's within you, to ignite it, to turn it on, and to be turned on with life. Living and be the goddess that you are, the God that you are, the blessing of that you are. So until next time, infinite love and infinite gratitude to Jess for beautiful enlightenment and love. And I love you infinitely. You're beautiful.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me on. And this is a tremendous amount of fun. And I look forward to all the stuff that we're cooking up coming up. So definitely reach out.
Hey guys. It's Elle.
It's your life.
Come join us.
Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful.